What's up, Vibe Tribe? Karma gang, 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 gang. Welcome to Painting What I See. And today's episode is going to be a little different from what I do normally, which is going out in the parks and getting different perspectives based on my own perspective and my own inner eye, my own that third eye right there. You know what I'm saying? So today I'm going to show you a video of my TikTok live that I did this past Monday, where I started this self-portrait. It's not completed yet. This is about 75-80% done. I'm going to actually get on TikTok live tonight again and finish this up. But if you guys want to join me there, you can catch me live on Mondays, 9 p.m. until further notice. But thank you so much for joining. Go ahead and like, subscribe, and comment. And we're going to get into the video. And I'll just do a voiceover. I'm going to speed it up because that live was about 2 or 3 hours. I'll speed it up and do a voiceover and talk about the process of creating this piece. Again, thank you for watching. And if you haven't yet, go ahead, like, subscribe, comment, share, all that good stuff, and follow me on my other social media channels. If you're into meditation music, go ahead and join my website, soundsbeyondnature.com. You can get a free 7-day membership, and on that website there's a bunch of meditative nature sounds and sound effects that you can use and purchase or just listen to. And those sound effects are of natural elements which I went out and field recorded myself. Waterfalls, fireplaces, all type of beautiful sounds, birds chirping, and all that good stuff. So let's go ahead and get started, y'all. All right, y'all, so here I am starting out with the white background. Kept the paint very loose and wet, used a lot of water, just a little bit of paint, and laid my colors down the way I wanted them. I'm putting hearts in the background because that's what I wanted for my self-love portrait as a dedication to myself, because it's been a while and I needed some self-love. So now I'm drying that first layer. See, I kept it very light. You always want to keep the first layers in the backgrounds light in the background. Now I'm going over it here with the second layer. You can see up close some details, very broad brush strokes, and I'm just letting that paint drip down. And you notice I used a little bit more paint on this layer, a little bit thicker of a layer of paint to add more depth and give it some pop and contrast from the first layer. Even the yellow is thicker. Still letting it drip. So this one is a wide shot of the close-ups that I just did. I love that top one where it dripped. Now I'm using some gold paint just to add some extra markings, drying that second layer off here. To go ahead and add a gold heart with some swirls. These are all just added markings. There's a close-up of that after it dried. And this is the self-portrait that we'll be working on. That was one option of it that I actually used for my profile picture, and the one that I painted, it's actually a second option, which you see here in the background of the TV. Here I am on TikTok live. I was playing some Rihanna, that Unapologetic album, to go along with my self-care for the day. Unapologetic about it. Talking on TikTok, and I had my microphone on, so I stepped away for a minute to go prepare my dinner for tonight. Got some crab legs. That was a part of my self-care day. Usually when I have my self-care days, I Have myself a nice seafood treat, nice seafood dinner. And so I was back. I just wanted to be on time for my TikTok live. You see me peeking my face in and stuff. We're about to get started in a second. And I was waiting for people to come in, got my pencil sharpener. And so now I'm preparing to draw the outline of my self portrait. And I'm using a colored pencil. I used a dark purple color pencil and a blue color pencil. And now I'm just starting broad, and I used the markings on the actual painting to help me know exactly where to put my lines and shapes to form the outline of my body, to form the outline of myself. And so I took my time and did that. Used a very light touch on the colored pencil because I wanted to, kind of sketch it out. And so here I'm just really looking at the picture and going back and forth. Before I started laying it down, I just kind of did a rough. I wasn't actually touching the canvas at first. And then I went in and started the lines, and you can see the sketch outline of it. Kind of where the nose doubled. My lips are popping out. And the way that I created this image was by placing the image of myself over the picture of what I did earlier, of the drip painting that you seen at the beginning. I placed the image over that. And what you want to do if you're going to create something like this is align the picture that you're using in an area of the art that it naturally fits well with. And so my head naturally fit well with the top of the picture, and it's also symbolic to me as well. So you want to keep all that in mind if you're going to create your own art. Also, if you're looking to get something like this done or similar, then as always, I'm easy to reach out to. You can DM me. You can email me at kcstarart and let me know that you're looking to get a self-portrait done and when you would like it done by. Once I receive payment and once I receive your picture and we discuss the details, I will get started on that and let you know when I will have it done by. Here you see that I've outlined the nose, my eyes and lips. And this is where you really start to see the image form, especially with the eyes and the lips popping out. And again, I used the markings on the actual art that I used in the picture reference that I'm using to make sure that I am keeping my proportions on point. And again, I'm using that Prismacolor pencil. I had to continue to sharpen that throughout the whole time that I was using it to make sure that I got my lines on point. And there I was just explaining what I was doing to the live audience. And if you did join me on TikTok live this past Monday, I appreciate you joining me. Thank you so much for all of the support on my live. I really appreciate y'all when y'all stop and come and converse with me for a while, talk, chop it up. We talk about whatever is going on at the moment and also the artwork and what I'm doing, what I'm creating. So I really do appreciate y'all. Love y'all. Thank you for liking, subscribing, and commenting. I notice everyone, and I appreciate every single one of y'all. And here I may be responding to comments and talking to people, just taking a look at the picture. Oh, right here I needed to readjust the space between the top of my lip and the bottom of my nose. So I wanted to get that straightened out. And then I went over the outline of myself with a brown acrylic paint and a thin brush to start getting the form of my head to pop out. And then I'm going over my hair, outlining that. And I just love the way the background came out for this piece. I'm gonna do, well, you know what? I'm not gonna say yet. I'll just do. But my son came in and he was like, "Wow, the lips are so accurate." So shout out to my son for encouraging his mama. Only thing about recording this way, I have the TV, the LED light flickering in the background. So if y'all have any suggestions on how I can work that without having to print out the image, I like having it enlarged like that. But the LED causes that flicker from the screen. Now I am just continuing to outline, added in the eyebrows, making sure I have my nose lined up straight. I know the outside of my nose is more round, but from the side perspective, it looks kind of flat. So I did erase that, and then I wanted to get that a little bit more accurate, up a little bit by above the lip. And I was using that gold line going down the side, that gold line, to help me make sure my perspective and my ratios, the proportions were right. And you can see how I curve around over the side of the nose so you can see the nostril pop out some more to give it depth and dimension. And here I was just checking my phone, saying what's up to folks. Took a quick swig of water. That good old lemon, lime, and mint infused water. Have my stomach feeling good. I have some right here. Let me take a sip right now. Had to make sure that my paintbrush was wet enough, loose enough, and used a small enough paintbrush for this. And you could use any size paintbrush that you want to use for this. If you are another artist, you don't have to outline with the small paintbrush. You can outline with the bigger paintbrush. That's just what I decided to do for this piece in particular, because I have a lot of broad brush strokes in the background, and I just wanted the foreground to be a little bit more detailed while also blending in with the background. And so now I'm going over the edges with purple. So I already went over the edges with brown And then I went over them again with some purple. Sorry, my head was in the way. It gets in the way a little bit throughout because that's the angle that I needed. Okay, so now I'm adding depth to my cheeks and made the cheeks pop out by showing that shadow line of the cheek, bringing that out with some purple. And to be honest, the hardest part about this piece was probably the ear area, just because there's a lot of intricacies going on with the ear and with the source image that I used. And so I just wanted to make sure I got the proportions right. At the end of it, I did. See how I go in even closer than the first outline here. And again, I'm using those markings to determine where I'm going to lay my brush strokes. And then here I was experimenting a little bit with that purple underneath the ear because that tends to be a shadow area. And so I was experimenting with bringing that out. And I wasn't feeling it. So I ended up erasing that with a wet towel and going back over it. Here's a close-up of the ear, creating a little bit more details with the heart-shaped earring in there, which I wear all the time, every day. Paid enough for those earrings. And that's like a little cherry on top for the self-love piece, you know? Again, if you are interested in getting a self-portrait or a portrait of someone you love or with someone you love, then I'm available depending on how many slots per week. I'm available to take so many per week. Slots are limited, so let me know right away if you would like to order one, and I will let you know the price based on what you want, how big of a portrait you want, and the picture you want. I need to see the picture and I need to know how big you want it to be before I can let you know the price. But they start out at $300 for one like I'm making here. That's only for y'all if you let me know that you came from my art vlog. And I do also do specials if you catch me on TikTok live. There I was doing the same thing as I did at the beginning, doing my side profile just so I can ask the audience to compare it to the portrait. It's not portrait, it's portrait. But this came out pretty nice, y'all. I really like this. This is a side quest from a 36 by 48 SpongeBob acrylic painting Under the Sea that I'm currently working on. I did this. What date did I do this? This past Monday. Today's the 14th. So I think, what was that? 11/11? Was Monday 11/11? So, you know, it was a good day to, oh, no, Monday was the 10th. Yeah, Monday was the 10th. But it was I just felt like, you know, I had been wanting to do a self-portrait. Why not do it now? So now this is just a quick recap of what I started with. Blank canvas, added the layers, let it dry with each step of the way, and then outlined from broader and then added more details as we went along there. Thank y'all for watching. I really, really appreciate y'all. Go ahead and send your likes and your comments. Subscribe if you're new here. I appreciate y'all. I love y'all. Thank you, family. Thank you, friends. Thank you, subscribers. And I will see y'all next week. Make sure y'all go ahead and hit me up on my other social media channels and catch me on TikTok Live on Mondays. If you would like to purchase originals or prints, check out the links in my description box. And if you are interested in purchasing any of the materials that I use in this video or previous videos, you can check those links out below as well. I'm an Amazon store associate, so that does support the channel when you click and buy from those Amazon links. Thank y'all again. Don't let them knock you out your crown. That is it. That is all. Peace, be still.
Karma came.